won the championship. It feels like right off the bat. How are you feeling about that too? Because there's a connection there between you two forever, it feels like.
Forever. I mean, I just spoke to her, what was it, a few days ago. I mean, that's always gonna be my sister from another mister. I always say that. We have so much history together, but you know what? I'm just so proud of her right now.
What's going on, wrestling fans? This is Steve-O, and welcome to 10 Count. On today's edition, I'm talking to someone who I believe this is like my fourth time speaking with. It's Ariane Andrew, formerly known as Cameron. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Ooh, that energy right there. I love it.
I bring it to the table every time, even if I'm tired or not. But today is a very exciting thing because you have a huge project ahead of you. We know you in the WWE. We've seen you in other organizations. But let's talk about what's next for you in the wrestling world. Pound Town Wrestling, baby. I'm
Ooh.
excited. I am excited for this. Talk about it because you have an event coming up October 12th. And this is not just a wrestling event. We have live music, acrobats. Like, this is not a wrestling show. This is a party, it feels like.
It's pretty much a party, but with wrestling. So one thing I feel like has been always kind of lacking in the independent circuit is storylines, but also bringing like another part of entertainment. You think about WWE, AEW, that's sports entertainment. So it's like, why not bring everything kind of full circle? So yeah, this will be one of the first wrestling events in West Hollywood. Also, yeah, it's gonna be like bottle service you can purchase. There'll be a bar, there'll be food, there'll be performances, a DJ. So it's definitely like something very, very different. Yeah, I just also too, like I want to build up some new talent. I feel like when it comes to like the bigger organizations, people are trying to get their foot in the door, but it's like, well, how do I get my foot in the door if you don't give me an opportunity type of thing? So yeah, it's giving some local talent like the opportunity to wrestle, but also create some dope storylines because that's also what's missing in the independent circuit. Is like people don't care because there's no story. So we want to make people care. So we're going to be having storylines. So even if you've never heard of some of these people before, you will know who they are once you either leave the event or where you can watch it on pay-per-view October 19th. So also that's the thing too. You get to watch it if you can't actually make the show on the 12th, on
Wow.
October 19th.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. So yeah,
Yeah.
because live event the 12th of October, which is coming up, and of course you just mentioned the 19th pay-per-view. Ooh,
Yeah.
now where'd this come together? Where'd this idea? Where'd this project? Because you've done so much since your time on WWE, so many projects, so many things you've done, but this is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, so gosh, it's like a small idea. So one of my good friends, who Hunter Gallagher, who wrestled at Knox Pro, we used to also train there a few times, which is Rikishi School. He actually helped me train when I was making my Royal Rumble return. And we're really good friends, but we also shared something in common with our passion for wrestling and a very small idea. Just like I honestly don't even know how we went from the most tiniest idea in the world of kind of like putting together something small, which is like a match of him and I, to this whole entire grand production and show and coming up with the name of Pound Town Wrestling and being like, just this show now becoming like something we want to fully invest in and eventually hopefully have like a training center and the whole nine. So it's like a small idea just turned into something way bigger than I ever expected, which is crazy, which I always say, and I always like to tell people, never let a dream live at the cemetery. Because even something that seems like it's unattainable, I mean, because we don't have investors and stuff like that yet, eventually want to get sponsors. It's like such a big idea like this is super expensive, but also too, it feels good knowing that we have like a lot of people who are supporting and the favors that we need to call on. People are like, wow, this is something awesome. It's something for everyone too. That's what I love. Like LGBTQ, it's located in the LGBTQ community, but also doing intergender matches. But like if you're into that club feel, it's just something for everyone. And that's why I don't know, I'm just like super excited for this.
That sounds awesome
Yeah.
because, again, there's so many organizations, but yet there is like sometimes there's a misconnection that you're describing as storylines where like they're like dream cards, like, oh, this match versus this person versus this person. That's great, but like why? Why are we wrestling?
Exactly.
And obviously with you, you have a whole different ballgame with this. So how'd you come up with the name Pound Town Wrestling?
Okay, so I mean, I don't know if the wrestling community will know this, but so Sexy Red, that song Pound Pound is such a controversial song. And as we all know, I'm the queen of controversy. It was listening to that song was like hilarious, but also too when you think of Pound Town, it's like it can go both ways. It's like there's multiple things that pop in your brain, and that's the whole point is to get a spark of being like, wait, what is this pound? Especially when we like named the show Thursday Night Pound Town. It's like, wait, what is exactly going on? And I just feel like it's just something super catchy that makes people want to invest and know more of exactly because again, it's such a interesting name. You can think of multiple things when you think of it, which we won't go down that road. But
You said it, not me.
but I think the PTW putting it as Pound Town Wrestling, then people understand like, okay, this is wrestling, and just it's catchy to me. It was
Yeah,
just very catchy to us.
of course. No, you go back to the days when it was NWA TNA. Well, when you think of TNA, the first thing is not wrestling.
Exactly.
It's something else.
So so that's it's crazy to think like now I'm even talking about it like something that's so small and here we are.
That's amazing. Now, can you name any of the local talent that will be involved with this event that maybe someone be like, holy crap. Like,
I
obviously
will
this is an event, but people want to know maybe who's involved. If you can reveal that.
I mean, yeah, because I know you've been trying to squeeze that tea out of me. I will say there will be, I'll name one person of who people are already familiar with, which is Sunny Kiss from AEW. So Sunny will be wrestling in the match, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of tea, and from there, you guys are just gonna have to watch and see. Because people have even been like, "Are you wrestling?" I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just the chairwoman who's putting this together, or maybe you may see me in the ring. But that's why you have to tune in on October 12th for the live event or October 19th for the pay-per-view.
My God. Like, that's a terrible tease. Now I need this now. I need this now. You just fooled me. I'm like, oh, next question. Are you competing on this event? And then you just drop a bomb on me like that.
I just went straight for it.
Wow, right for the neck. Straight for the
Right?
neck.
You're like, wait, I'm the host of the show, girl. Let me host the show. But you also know I'm a host too. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save you some extra questions.
Oh man. It's the worst. I'll tell you right now, you don't do it, but there are people out there, you'll ask a question and you have 8 questions written down, maybe 10, and they plow through those questions. This is just a little sidebar. You ask someone a question and suddenly like, yes, what? Okay. Next question. They plow through, you get 20 minutes, but yet it's been 5 and they've already killed all your questions. So yeah.
Uh, Trust me, you know I can talk a lot. So there's whatever you have, even if I have to turn, I don't know, I'm not gonna cuss chicken SHITT to chicken noodle soup. You know I'm gonna make it happen. So
I know you will. I know you will. Talking about this is just me speculating, talent that could appear. I'm not saying they're going to, but also an old friend of yours, Tyrus, aka Brodus Clay, recently retired from the NWA and maybe professional wrestling in general. Any thoughts on this? Because again, there's thoughts on him in NWA, but there's like this whole different ballgame of Brodus Clay and what you did with him, and people loved.
yeah. I also feel like that's a touchy conversation just in general, just for things that have just been going around with Tyrus lately. I feel like I'm not quite sure how old he is, but I know, it's been some time since we were doing the Funkadactyls and the whole Funkasaurus thing. I feel like, there comes a time, especially, don't get me wrong, I feel like in the wrestling community, they stay stuck in like time. It's like, you can never progress. It's like I even say I'll be in my grave and they're like, hey girl, when are you returning to the ring? It's like, well, I'm no longer on this earth anymore. I do think there comes a time where, it's time to hang up the boots. I feel like he's doing really good with what he's doing Fox and the whole nine. But I always say never, because people who you think retire always end up somehow, some form, some fashion, their AWS ends back in the ring, even they're like, I'm 90, but I am back. It's just, I mean, it always comes back full circle. I mean, history is always repeating itself. So even when people say I'm retired, I'm like, are you really? Are you really? Because people, it's something about wrestling. It's like I think people get so caught up with like who a character is, the fame, being in front of, millions of people because through social media and television, all this, and having like that glory and you're doing what you love. I think it's really hard for a lot of people just to completely walk away from it because I think if you think about any athlete, any entertainer, any actress, any of these people, like even when they retire, they say they feel like this emptiness because it's like that's what your life is and that's what you feed off and that's what gets you up in the morning. And there is something about like that dopamine when you're out in front of a huge crowd that is like cheering or booing or whatever that makes you, I don't know, it's like a high. So I think it's very hard a lot of times for people to walk away completely. So even if he's not wrestling in some, form or fashion, I feel like he'll end up doing something that's in that world.
Interesting you say that because yeah, he's doing great business outside of wrestling, so I don't think he even needs wrestling. Who needs to be slammed down when you're making money and doing other things? Uh, again, person like Trinity, for instance, for a whole like year, no one knew what she was doing. She would show up modeling and she would show up in events, and it was really cool to see. And then recently, she's come back to Impact. Well, returned to Impact. This is the first time she's ever been there. Won the championship. It feels like right off the bat. How are you feeling about that too? Because there's a connection there between you two forever, it feels like.
Forever. I mean, I just spoke to her, what was it, a few days ago. I mean, that's always gonna be my sister from another mister. I always say that. We have so much history together, but I'm, you know what? I'm just so proud of her right now because I feel like, she's been waiting for this moment for so long. And I just appreciate that I feel like she's going to be able to do exactly how she wants to do it in her way. And it sucks because I feel like some people get opportunities, where you're just like, well, dang, that happened so quick. But I do think what I'm learning in life is everything happens for a reason. So sometimes someone's success or the moment they're waiting for takes 20 years. For someone, it takes a year. And I feel like we all get so stuck in that comparison where it can seem like, damn, when am I going to ever get my own opportunity? Because I'm busting my ass over here doing all these things, but like where is the payoff? So I'm excited. I know in a million years maybe she didn't think that that would be the path and maybe she thought it would be WWE, but sometimes too what I'm learning is when you walk away from something and you make yourself like where people are listening and seeing, and people then after that I want to be like, hey, so what I'm proud of is that she's going out creating her name on her own terms, and you never know, the sky's the limit. We maybe she sticks to that. Who knows? Like, it's like I feel like now the sky has no limits for her.
True. And I think we're all still waiting for that storyline between both of you in a different realm, getting more time, more appreciation. Is that ever gonna happen, do you think?
I'm just um I'm hoping, especially now with me kind of venturing out and doing like my own thing and creating my own promotion and stuff like that. I feel like we're now in a place where we can kind of walk to the beat of our own drum with doing things on how we want to do it. That there's an opportunity there compared to someone, compared like, when you're in a bigger company, it's kind of like, it's their roles and what they feel. And when you're doing your own thing in a sense, you can kind of, and not saying that, the company that she's with, or just when you're in that big daddy, like WWE is a beast. It's a different type of machine. And what I've noticed when people go to different companies that are not as grandeur, there's a little bit more leniency of what you can do and what they allow you to do, which is awesome.
Yeah. I hope one day we get that Funkadactyls match, but well, I'll have to keep throwing money into the wishing well and hopefully we get it an Impact
Uh,
maybe or somewhere. Again, more time, more appreciation. I know there was like a version of it, but I want, it's a lot.
More,
The
yeah.
storyline, it's been for so long now that, both of you established different, I guess, personalities, different achievements in life. So having you fight now would be more important, at least for me, being like returning to your past to, maybe be a heel. I don't know, maybe babyface. Who knows? So, who knows? Time will tell. Time will tell. Though everyone always wants you back in the WWE, obviously. Is that a possibility? Do you think, actually now having your own organization, which makes, more eyeballs on what you're doing, do you think that maybe someone's like, what's going on over here?
I mean, again, absolutely. I feel like when you go out, venture, and you go create a name for yourself, that's it's, and I feel like that's in any business, especially me having a business marketing degree. I get it. Like, when you make yourself valuable and a force where people are talking, then people have more interest. It's just, I mean, that's just how life goes, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. The thing that makes me the most excited about this is having creative control, like, but also it's collaborative. So even with the talent I'm working with, it's like, how do we work together to make this happen? It's like, also when I think about like the locker room situation, it's like, okay, no, we're all in this. It's not this because this person's bigger. Like, even with me today, I just hired the makeup artist. I'm like, you know what, everyone gets the treatment of having makeup and stuff like that. I want to make this different, where people feel like this is excitement. This is like, I just went off on a tangent. But to get back to your question, that's my ADHD. Who knows? Again, I still feel like there's a lot of unfinished business there. But one thing I will say is when people always ask, it's always so specific. Are you returning back to WWE? Where it's like, why does it have to be just one place? There's opportunity in other places. You know what I mean? But let's just say, I'm doing my own thing right now. We'll just see what happens. And I love that. I like that I get to rock to the beat of my own drum with doing something that I love and doing, and pretty much respectfully, I'm about to make history. There's been no indie show like this before. I also don't reckon, correct me if I'm wrong, indie show that's done like a pay-per-view type of thing.
Not
So
this quick.
yeah. So yeah, I'm the type of person, I'm gonna shoot for as high as I possibly can. And even if I don't get there, I'm gonna fall somewhere in between. I'm like that type of person. It's like, go hard or go home. Like, there's no other way to do it.
Of course. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to see and hear the passion you have in your voice for this thing you have going on, Pound Town Wrestling, because honestly, like, everyone wants to start something, and obviously you have to put in the work to start something, though, and clearly you are putting in the work. So again, how much sleep are you losing? How much time are you spending? Because there must be a point in time where this isn't just like a business. This is your baby that you're trying to create, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And what's crazy? It's like, I'm actually, it's interesting. It's like I'm manifesting this, and I guess I'm kind of putting the, what is it, the cart before is it the cart before the horse? Let me
Yes.
not, cart before the horse, because initially this was just supposed to be a one-time show, and then kind of seeing what happens, and we'll take it from there. Yeah, I'm just going ahead and just be like, I'm starting a whole promotion, and it's kind of like, again, little ideas just keep turning into bigger things. And it's a lot, especially when you put that information out there. It's like you got to kind of like show up for it. But the one thing about me is like, regardless of what happens, I'm always a person, because people are so quick if something doesn't work out right to be like, haha, or whatever. But the one thing I will say is that I actually have the guts to go out there and do it. And I rather try something and say, damn, maybe I got to go back to this, a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more of whatever resources. But that's the one thing, because most people in life will have a dream, but it's just like they're too scared of what people are going to think if it doesn't work out 100%. And for me, what I'm learning is a lot of times you just got to go out there and try. Like, you just got to go out there and try new things. So, and what was the original question?
uh, did you lose sleep and spending all your time on this project?
Yeah, this is so terrible. I mean, there's certain people in my life who can always keep up, but they're like, wait, go rewind. Okay, that's not the point. You just went off on a whole tangent. That's okay. Bring it back. Um, it's been definitely trying, for the simple fact I'm trying to manage so many things. I recently just got into like a car accident where I totaled my car, and just dealing with that. And thank God I'm alive and I'm good. But just that within itself kind of really, I kind of got scared even with the date, because that really just threw things off so much, because my main focus had to be on that. And just personal life stuff that's transpired. So yes, definitely working on a minimum amount of sleep, also because I'm like in the gym like crazy, but also working on my other stuff that I have going on. So yeah, sleep, it's kind of looks non-existent, but I mean, if you listen to the most successful people, especially entrepreneurs and stuff I follow, they're like, everyone's effing tired. So, like, I mean, that's just if you want success, if it was easy, everybody would do it. That's just the price that comes with it.
Well,
So, yeah.
that sounds like you are a tad busy. So
Yeah.
I will let you go get some sleep. I will let you go relax. But I'm going to say it's been a pleasure talking to you today again about this amazing project, Pound Town Wrestling, coming up October 12th, Thursday night Pound Town. We'll have crown the first champion, music, drinks, have a good
Wait,
time.
champion. Let's wait, not champion quite. We're not quite there yet. We're
Not
working
yet.
towards
Oh,
it.
working towards the championship.
Yes, we're working towards that. Yes, because even in the thing it's saying to you as we watch people, like lay the ground, like to see what people are working with to fit, till we get there.
Of
But yeah,
course.
that will be soon. Okay, I can't have everything. Like as much as I'm like, let me shoot for the stars, but yeah,
That I'll quote you as you said earlier. I'm sorry I put the cart before the horse.
it's all good though. We're gonna put that out into the atmosphere. So
Let good
yes, guys.
vibes. Let the good vibes keep going. I'm Steve Fall. She's Ariane Andrew. Have a great time, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.